Hey everybody, and welcome back to the triumphant return of Chippa in the third person. Not that it went anywhere. I was off Thursday and Friday for the 4th of July, and I was spaced out this morning, so I didn't do one this morning. So for those of you that have maybe never seen this before, which, awesome, thank you. I am Chris Chipman, the Chippa. I run some podcasts under the banner The Chippa Made This Productions. That is the Chipman Brothers Tangent with my brother Movie Bob, the Creating Geeks podcast with my wife, the Talkbuster podcast, and Shooting the Shit with Chippa. Yesterday, and Monday, I also had off. Exciting things happening on all fronts and all of those. I've got my live recording of the Talkbuster podcast coming up in August. That's a little less than 2 months from now. I can't believe that's coming up so quick, and I absolutely can't friggin' wait. Also got some giveaways going on, but I've talked your ear off about those. So, just give me $1 on Patreon. And the closer I get to higher amounts of money, the closer you guys get to getting some cool giveaways. So, there's also that. Last you heard from me, I had just seen Midsommar. My thoughts on that movie have not changed. I absolutely dug it. Can't wait to see it again. Do I think it's as good as Hereditary? I think they're doing different things than one another. So it's hard to group them together in that respect. So I think they're both great in their own right. Hereditary might be more of an overall appeal kind of movie. This one's a little more out there, but I still really dug it. What else is going on? On the 4th of July, I don't know if you folks listening have similar things that happen in your town, but I live in a fairly compressed urban area on the outskirts of Boston. I happen to live in a pretty nice, more spread out area within that city, but, this isn't, the gated off community type of thing that keeps you away from the stuff you don't like. We all live together. It's a very diverse town. So with that comes lots and lots and lots of fireworks. Lynn is a friggin' war zone on the 4th of July. You got young kids shooting them off, adults, parties, you name it. It's chaos. And sorry for my car being so loud. It's still loud as hell, and I'm going to get that looked at. But anyhow, with that, my wife doesn't really like the loud noises of the fireworks. I grew up with it, so I'm used to it. And my daughter doesn't react all that well to it either. So we've been finding things to do to kind of get away from it. And this year, we had a great idea. We went out to the Southwick Zoo, which is those pictures you saw of me walking around with the deer. They have a deer forest where you can walk around with deer that are used to the people. And so you get to see them, and it's really cool. My daughter loves it, I love it, my wife loves it. We had an absolute blast walking around with the deer. Zoo's crazy. They have rhinoceros, giraffes, yaks. They've got rides. It's a pretty cool place. But also in Mendon, where that zoo is the drive-in movie theater. So we decided to do that, go to the drive-in at night, and we saw Toy Story 4, which I am happy to report, just as everybody else on the internet has said, Toy Story 4 is a big surprise. I didn't think they could do it again. I thought it was kind of an overdone idea, and man, it was great. Is it as great as the others? I mean, that's subjective. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on in this. Nothing quite as tear-inducing and punch in the gut as the third act of Toy Story 3, but there's some heavy stuff going on about obsolescence and what that means. It almost had a feeling of some movies, are for a generation of kids who have become parents, learning to kind of let go of parts of their childhood, but what parts of their childhood they can still share with their kids. Toy Story 4 is kind of like learning how to be a grandparent, learning how to be self-sufficient, or even learning how to deal with a breakup, I'd say, almost, with Woody kind of realizing that there's other stuff out there than just his kid. And then always wanting to be there and be there for one single entity isn't necessarily the only thing that's good in the world. I think it'd be a great movie to show someone that's gone through a breakup. I think it'd be a great movie for a parent whose kids are going away to college, or moving out of their own for the first time, or a grandparent learning, to deal with what comes next. It's very odd, and I absolutely loved it. I love the new characters. I loved how the villain really isn't a villain. That was a really cool thing to have in one of these movies. Instead, okay, they've had villains in Toy Story movies that have come up, as being able to be, see things at their level. But this villain honestly is not a villain, and she gets a really good ending. It's really cool. And Duke Kaboom, Keanu Reeves is an absolute blast, an absolute riot. There's some really great moments in this damn thing, and the animation looks better than it ever has. You put this side by side with the original Toy Story, it's unbelievable that they've gotten here. It's absolutely fantastic. So huge thumbs up from me on Toy Story 4. I really dug it. Me and my wife have 2 episodes 7 and 8 left of Stranger Things Season 3. I'm really digging it. I like the 8-episode shorter form thing they went with. I really love the pacing and the jumping between the different groups in every episode. It really gives it time to move quick and be fun. And the horror, man, has been ramped up. This is gross, and I like it. I know that's turning a lot of people off, but it's right up my alley, man. I'm really digging this season of Stranger Things. I'm hoping to talk more when I get through it. But yeah, so far so good. Any of you that follow me on Twitter probably also saw that I went on a slip and slide for the first time in my life over the weekend. We bought a slip and slide last year at like a retro store, and one of the old-fashioned types. And I went and slid down that thing a whole bunch of times. I absolutely loved it. So there's me living out my 6-year-old years at 35, right? And what else? Yesterday was my daughter's first day of summer school, and this is her first transition to a different school because they do it in a different building with a different teacher. She got right up there. She sat down with all the kids. She listened to the teacher. She walked right in. 2 days so far, so good. We're really happy. She's also going without pull-ups or diapers on, just in regular clothes, and hasn't had any accidents yet. So the potty training thing is working out. So score 1 for the Chipman parents, right? So it feels good to be back doing these. Again, sorry I forgot to do one this morning. And there'll be more great things to come. But right now I'm pretty tired. Had a long-ass day in work. So this has been the Chippa, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Later.